Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the self-care series. This is day 3. We're going to be talking about sleep hygiene and mainly, 5 ways that good sleep hygiene can really reduce stress. Yesterday, we were speaking about, are you eating like good brain food? And on day 1, we were talking about the five signs that you are potentially kind of on the verge of veterinary burnout. But what we're going to talk about today is your sleep. And this is an interesting one because we do have a lot of us who have a lot of disturbed sleep. Day 4, we're going to speak about how to journal and just to improve your mental health, and also combating negative self-talk on day 5. So this isn't going to be a very in-depth talk. I do have a mini quest that deals with sleep, and it's 14 days if you want to kind of dive deeper into this topic. But we'll just kind of go through just the 5 ways that you can try have a good sleep, just improve your sleep hygiene. So the first one obviously is get a routine. It's interesting, a lot of moms and dads will say, oh, no, 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 we can't come over that time, that'll mess up with his routine, we can't do that. Or when we used to be able to go outside and meet people and spend time with friends and family, we used to, over everything else, prioritize our kids' routine. Yet we don't really prioritize our own routine and try and make sure that we stick to it. So, you need to make sure that you're syncing with the body's natural clock and the circadian rhythm. It's one of the most effective ways of getting a really good night's sleep. So in the same way that we used to have our kids, and we still, if you've got kids now, you want them to go to bed at a certain time because they need to get up the next day because they've got school or whatever it is that you have planned for them. And having that strict routine and consistent routine of getting up at a certain time and going to bed at a certain time has really, really huge benefits. um, you really need to work on controlling your surroundings. Okay, so there is a hormone that we all know. It's called melatonin. It's released when we're in the dark, we're in dark surroundings, and it just helps the body regulate the sleep-wake cycle properly. Obviously, if you're crashed out on the couch, that's not really an ideal spot. So the idea is, if we're exposed to a little light or no light or sunlight during the day, we will release melatonin. This makes us really sleepy. So if you're stuck indoors and you haven't had any exposure to proper sunlight, you feel sleepy. So if you've had your carb fueled lunch inside, I used to call it my fluorescent hell, inside a fluorescently lit kind of practice, where you didn't go outside, you didn't smell the fresh air, and you didn't expose sunlight to the backs of your eyes, at least 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I suppose, if you're stuck for time. But if you don't do that, this is another reason why you feel so sleepy after you have your big carbohydrate laden lunch. So, if you're in a very bright environment, melatonin production will stop. So you don't feel sleepy. However, the same thing happens at nighttime when you're supposed to be dimming down the lights, controlling the surroundings so that you're telling your brain and your body that it's nighttime. And you expose it to a lot of bright light or electrical equipment just before bed, it really slows down the release of melatonin. And this is the opposite of what we actually want to happen. Um, Number three, really keep your bedroom for sleep. Okay. Should not have, any kind of noises disturbing you. Um, Try keep the bedroom, the temperature quite low. There's no point in being uncomfortably hot and sticky in bed, because that'll disrupt your sleep. And remove all electronic equipment. Really, if you have a TV in your room, take it out. Honestly, no TVs, no laptops, no computers, no tablets in bed ever. Just no, don't do it. Make sure that the room is dark. If there's even a slither of light that kind of comes in through the door or a crack of a window, or if you have maybe a street light right outside your bedroom window, that little stream of light will disrupt, because even if your eyes are closed, it'll go through your eyelids and it will get to the back of your eyes, and it'll disrupt the type of sleep, because your melatonin will not be being produced sufficiently. So just make sure your bedroom is made in a way that is going to be as comfortable as possible. Okay. If you are going to take this seriously, yes, I'm talking about nutrition again, but you do need to improve your nutrition. So you need to have good nutrition habits, particularly those last few hours of sleep and before you go to bed, because it can really improve the quality of your sleep. So these foods that I've got here in the picture are actual proper like sleep foods. Um, so you need to know what snacks you should and shouldn't have um, before bed, and which ones to avoid. So you want ones that have high levels of melatonin already in the actual food. And some nuts are great, some brown rice if you're going to snack on something, and try make it as late as possible. Don't leave it till you're just about to go into bed to have a snack. Make sure that you've got a good gap between the time you eat and the time you go to bed. So you've got time to digest the food. So avoid eating really large meals before bed. Avoid drinking too much liquid, any liquid. And the caffeine is interesting. A lot of people say, oh, the coffee doesn't affect me. I can have 10 cups of coffee and I'm fine. It does. It still does. So if you are a caffeine slugger like I used to be, oh, I had the most amazing team. They would feed me cups of coffee all day long. Oh, I used to love them. But I would end up having about 8 or 9 cups a day. Like if there wasn't one there for me, I'd be like, why is my cup empty? um, and it was just totally out of control, my caffeine habit. And now I just have one. Okay, I have one in the morning and that's it. So you need to make sure if caffeine is your poison, you need to be cutting it off. It says between 2 and 4 p.m. I would definitely say no more after 3. Ideally 2 o'clock, but you shouldn't be having any more because it takes a while for it to leave your system. Definitely no alcohol before bed. So caffeine, alcohol, greasy, yeah, food, big meals, they're really going to all disrupt your sleep, and they're not going to help. So honestly, choose really stress free, relaxing activities prior to you going to sleep. So, if you've got stress related family matters to deal with, money, work, other day to day difficulties, these things can disrupt your sleep. So, managing these stresses and using specific pre bedtime relaxation techniques can really be effective in aiding a better night's sleep. So, when you're thinking about work, because you're lying there thinking, oh God, that dog, I was just holding it, and then it turned around and bit the vet, or bit me, or bit my colleague. And oh, it's just awful. And you've got to get a system by which you can get all of those types of things out of your head so that you're able to actually fall asleep. So what do you do? Yeah, this is what I do, and this is what some of the people I coach find really helpful. So you got to write these down, okay? So get a journal, get something where you're able to actually document what it is you're worried about, what you're thinking about, and write it down. So the idea is you complete the loop in your brain, because your brain's thinking, whoa, you haven't done this. This is not done. You'll find once you do this, you will have less incidents of insomnia that we discussed on day one. Um, you can conduct some deep breathing exercises and some deep breathing techniques. They're really cool, especially if you get ones that you really like and you're able to utilize them on a regular basis. They work really well. Um, the progressive muscle relaxation techniques also work quite well. And actually, you tend to sometimes fall asleep before you finish the whole technique. So it means that it's working. Try avoid any tasks that really stress you, or thinking about stuff like before you go to bed. My husband really doesn't like doing his taxes, and he starts pulling this out like at 9 o'clock in the evening, and I'm like, what are you doing? He says, oh, I just have to get this done, and I'm like, that's not a good idea. But it's not one of those things that partners like to be told that that's not a good idea by their other partner. So I just think, try leave those types of things for when you're fresh, like in the morning, and you've got the entire day to work out, and the computer is unlikely to crash on you and cause you further stress. And then you're thinking about that when you go to bed. So maybe don't do that. Um, Definitely keep your bedroom clean and tidy. When it's got laundry piled up to the scut and there's just crap all over the floor, it's not a great, relaxing environment. So maybe sort that out. Okay, so just tidy that up. Ideally, have a nice hot shower or hot bath. There's a little trick with that, which you might not like. Um, I've been doing this for about a year and it works really well. So after your hot bath or shower, have a cold shower. It really tries, it works so well. It cools down your skin and your body, and you just have this amazing feeling. And just before you get into bed, and you're not too hot or sweaty, it's perfect. It's really, really good. And just do something nice that you enjoy before bed. Reading's okay, but nothing taxing. Okay, so it needs to be, and you don't want to be reading so that you fall asleep, but you just want something that's not too taxing. Definitely journaling last thing at night is great, because you get to write down any problems and reflect on your day. So I've got some resources for you for day 3, and this is quite nice. I mean, what I use this for is just the strategy to kind of work on your challenges, and what it is you're concerned about that day, but also maybe on a more broader kind of way. And what are your challenges? I mean, this has just got 2 questions. What challenges are you struggling with at the moment? And then, where will you be in 5 years from now if you change nothing at all? Just ask yourself that. Do you have any challenges? Yeah, there might be a few. Health challenges, people at work, situations at work, positions that you're trying to apply for within the department. Maybe, you've got your eye on something else. Maybe you're really enjoying what you're doing, but you want more responsibility. Maybe you want less responsibility, whatever it is. What is your challenge? Okay. And it can be health. It can be, spending more time with your loved ones at home, or less time. seeing as we've had to spend so much time together. Um, where will you be in 5 years' time if you change nothing? You know what your challenges are, but you do nothing and you keep going to work tomorrow in the same way and do the same thing, but you don't change anything about your situation. What do you think your life will be like? So, you've also got a little area for you to kind of scribble some notes. And I just wanted to let you know that, you know, this self care series isn't supposed to be anything taxing or stressful. The idea is it's giving you ideas and tips and tools and some tactics that are 100% completely free. You don't have to buy anything to do any of these. Okay, you just need to now start thinking a little bit more about your sleep hygiene. And again, if I remind you of the picture of all of those kinds of clinical signs that we see when we experience extreme stress and kind of slip into burnout, we really want to avoid any of this happening. I want, we know that burnout is just, it's a state of mind that comes from extreme unresolved stress. So definitely journaling is one of those things that I am very passionate about. So I would give it a try. If you haven't tried it, just any takeaway, try journal before you sleep and just get rid of any of those thoughts that you're thinking about. So, you need to be taking care of your whole body, your whole physical body, your emotional and your spiritual self, and make sure you're managing all of those accounts. So, take time to relax, go outdoors, go for a walk, breathe some fresh air. And I really appreciate you spending this time with me. With much love and appreciation. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.